simmer. I'm like, okay, I see how this goes now. All right, we're live. We're
Good
live.
morning, everybody. Welcome. This is Black Tech Futures Media, our weekly chats, and we are so excited today.
Simmer. I'm like, okay, I see how this goes now. All right, we're live. Oh, all right. Am I? Do you have us on the volume? Because I think I just.
No, I got it. Okay.
All right. Cool. All right. We're up and running now. Great morning, beautiful people. Top of the morning. We have another great guest. Super excited to have her on here. As you can see, she's kind of just swifting through some of her work, and as you can tell, this is her work. These aren't just like pictures of things. This is actually something that has been created from the ground up. We are super excited to introduce Artsy Marie, who is an AR, VR builder, designer, 3D designer. I don't like, what's your exact like title? Because like I'm pretty sure I just said it all like mixed up, but
I'm just I call myself a social VR architect.
Social VR architect. I absolutely love it. That's way better than what I just said. Well, thank you for joining us this morning. Super excited to have you here. Super excited to talk about like this new exciting term of metaverse. So thanks for making the time.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start from the top. Let's just start from the top for our viewers. What do you define as the metaverse?
So I think I've said this in a couple Clubhouse rooms, but I think the metaverse is the equivalent, like the digital equivalent to how we talk about the universe, being an infinite space of possibilities and where thoughts turn into, realities without limitations. And it's a creative space, inventive space, a Web3 decentralized space, but also an all-encompassing, like it's the internet. But I feel like the metaverse specifically is just, it's social, and we're doing things with each other, connecting in ways like never before. And it's, it's now, and it's, the past, and it's the future. And I think that's the metaverse.
Nice.
Okay. That's dope. The reason why I wanted to start off with that is because a lot of people, even people that aren't very familiar with, the metaverse or the crypto space, obviously hear big news about Facebook's name change, right? Changing it to Meta, and then introducing their version where obviously people like yourself and everyone in the, NFT and crypto space already kind of been, at least for the past year, very strong, have been in these metaverse spaces already, whether it's been Decentraland, Crypto Voxels, or what you heavily operate out of, Alt Space VR. So these things already been here for, some time now. And now all of a sudden with Facebook saying, hey, we're changing our name to Meta, and we got our own world, and we got our own home here. You can play games with each other, and they're trying to act like they're the new kid on the block, like they just came up with this. And like I can just see everybody from the community, like from the inside, like what is this dude? Like what is this dude trying to do right now? Yeah.
But right, because they're not decentralized, and I think that is also a great explanation for a feature of the metaverse. In this space, we're talking decentralization all the way. And I don't know, these companies, we were talking the other day about hybrids, right? These spaces where companies are going to say, okay, we're metaverse, right? When in fact, you're not exhibiting all of the features of a metaverse because you are a centralized entity. Right. And we're talking DeFi all the way, right? It's a huge component.
Right. I like to call it as like Mark is just, he's appropriating it, right? Like he's
God.
He's using this
In
as
another way.
propaganda, like, right? So
Yeah.
that's just how I
Yeah.
see it, like from that type of scale. But so Artsy, so tell us, like, this is such a super like interesting like journey, right? Because a lot of people we talk to, they're either invested in doing like NFTs on the NFT side of things, while
Right.
you're here kind of just more on a bigger scale of saying, I'm providing services to build stuff for people who want to use you know, whether they're using it as a gallery space or a networking space for other NFT enthusiasts and crypto enthusiasts, right? So how did you get to that point? Like, can we like maybe do a quick origin story of like, you know, your journey leading up to you just saying, I want to
Yeah.
build stuff and use it
Your
as
artist story.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So I grew up in a household that, really, it was saturated in art. My mom's an artist, and I watched her, she's prolific in her own right, she has so many talents in the arts. And so I always had art supplies around me. So from literally birth, I had a paintbrush, um, you know, hundreds of color pencils. I used to build um, houses out of paper, like
Mm.
doll houses out of paper, like all the furniture and the functionality of the doors and the
Mhm.
um, refrigerators and stuff like that. I liked paper at the when I was younger. I liked paper, and I've always been like constructing that type of way. And then uh, my mom also made doll houses as well, and so she made everything from scratch too. And I saw that trend over time because when I was 14, I got into The Sims,
Yeah.
or 13 when I got into The Sims. And like I was hooked. I was playing all the time. Me and my sister would fight over it. And then I dived into photography and started my photography business when I was 17
Mm.
and went off to college and kind of thrived in that photography business in art school. Um, and so that, for 14 years, I did professional photography and graphic design and web design and
Oh wow.
just basically solidifying myself as an artist. Right before the pandemic, I switched over to digital illustration and stopped doing photography. And that's when Pretty Darn Artsy came alive, which was my illustrations for Black women to teach us how to love ourselves spiritually, see ourselves more than just what we look like on the outside.
Mhm.
And then I during the pandemic, found myself curious to get into social VR and see what people were doing, being trapped at home. Um, and I walked into an art gallery and I was hooked. I was like, I can bring my art in here. That's a yes. And that's what made me stay. I met a French guy, um, and he helped me build a gallery. And I met people from all around the world, and they loved my work, and I was hooked.
Nice.
Um,
That's
and
awesome.
I've always loved architecture. So when I got into the space, I was like, this is like a VR version of The Sims, and I
Right.
just taught myself how to do 3D, and it became a service.
Well, it seems like you obviously, as a child, you think in 3D, right? Especially building with paper, right? Constructing spaces and objects and these things, which a lot of folks don't understand. Right now, these are the skills, these are the various ways you are going to build the metaverse, right?
Mhm.
Um, what's your biggest inspiration?
My clients.
Nice.
um, I truly like the expressions that people have when they see their own imagination come to life,
Mm.
Mhm.
in a way that they didn't know was possible. So I think it's a gift to be able to listen to what people's dreams and aspirations are,
Yeah.
um, and then translate that because not everybody knows exactly how to express that. But I think instinctually know what they want and how to deliver that to them. And so I'm inspired by their openness to, share what's in their heart and their soul.
Can you share with us what kind of clients do you have like that are interested? Because this is such a new thing, and obviously I can only assume that like people who are maybe in this or maybe not, I don't know, that's why I'm asking, like what kind of clients like come to you and say like, hey, I want this so I can like have events in alt space or VR or however they kind of go about it. What kind of clients do you have?
So they're all people just like us. Like they're they're stay-at-home moms. They're single moms. They're college, educated. They're gamers. They're artists. It's real. I mean, I have a long string of clients, and they're all different, and they all want things for different reasons. I do have a lot of business owners that want something specifically for business, but a lot of people just have a dream to like, live in their dream home.
Okay.
Or,
so now from the business standpoint, what are there, what are some use cases that they use these spaces for? Is it just an extension of like an event space where they just bring people in, have galleries or whatnot? Or like, what are some different, because I love the answer that you gave, because it's right. It's people who are just interested in this space, because this is the next step, right? We started with AOL Messenger, and then we came up to MySpace days and social media. And now we're kind of taking that next step of social networking where it's like, it's a lot closer now. We're getting closer to that Ready Player One type phase where
more
it's
immersive.
it's more immersive. So
yeah.
On a business standpoint, working with owners, what are other things that they might use these spaces for that that we might not know?
So I think one of the great use cases was the nail shop that I built. There was it's Goddess Beauty Nails on Instagram. She came into the space and she wanted to have she's from the islands, so she wanted to have a nail shop on the beach. So it's a nail shop on the beach on one side, and then she has a classroom on the other side, so that she can teach people how to do custom nails.
Wow.
It's nice.
In the space. So within the nail shop, we have her pictures of her actual nails that she sells displayed like you would see them in a nail shop, with the little boutique bars, and then you have a pull out back, and then you have the ocean.
It's awesome. Wow.
I love that concept. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question really quickly. So I see on your website, I thought I saw somewhere that you've done some work in the hip hop industry, specifically for Naughty by Nature. Can you talk about working with that group of folks and that experience and what they wanted to build?
Yeah, so we've had quite a few hip hop legends come through the metaverse in the past few months, and specifically Vin Rock, Vinny from Naughty by Nature has been my point of contact for this project. But they're building out a metaverse of 9 different worlds, and one to include an NFT art gallery, and to house events for their drop, podcast studio, a mansion, the Naughty Mansion.
Makes sense.
The recording studio, and like a performance stage, as well as like a basketball arena type of thing. So
it sounds like a fun project. Yeah.
Is that
it's a great way for them to connect with their fans.
Right.
So in a new and emerging type of way.
And these are spaces that are these all custom built, like from the ground up? How long does it take you to actually create something like that? That sounds, you said like 9 different, like a whole ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
How long would it take you to do something? Just ballpark it, give us an idea.
I've been working on their project for a while.
Mhm.
It was lofty.
Mhm.
But most times I can get a project done within 2 to 3 days. I
Wow.
work pretty fast.
Wow.
I'm very passionate about what I do, and I like, because I like that point where I'm very excited for my clients to see what their dreams have come into.
Mm,
Um,
Yeah.
I spend all day
yeah.
on the project, so I'll work 16 hours a day
Mm,
Wow.
plus to get
Wow.
something done,
yeah.
just to show somebody what their dreams actualize, you
That's
know.
incredible. Would you, because you are so like, I mean, you're fairly new to Blender, but it seems like your tenacity to learn it, like, it seems like it's up there. So like, do you feel comfortable like with like the user interface and all that with Blender, or do you still find yourself like finding new ways to do things that make your, workflow easier? Like, how does that look like when you're actually in the program?
There's no software that I've ever worked in that I feel like I know like the back of my hand.
Same. That's why I
Um,
asked. I've
Yeah.
been
yeah,
working with Adobe Premiere Pro for years now. I,
you always learn something new, and they're always upgrading, and Blender is amazing,
yeah, very
like
powerful. Yeah.
super
And,
powerful.
yeah. Yeah. It's open source from what I understand, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a free.
You'll never reach the pit of Blender,
Mhm.
right? Like
Yeah,
the depths and the reach of how far you can go with a free program like that. I
yeah,
mean, you
super,
can't
super
beat it.
powerful. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I
My but
avoided it.
oh yeah.
I was scared of it for a
It was
while.
well, that's kind of what happened to me. It was a little intimidating. My a buddy of mine, Valentine, he also uses Blender.
Mhm.
He does these pretty cool little 3D renderings. He's really taken the Funko Pop like wave of like, building those things in little like houses for him. Nowhere near on the level as you though. Like, you're building very immersive stuff. He's very contained with his stuff, but Blender nonetheless, like, he got me into Blender. I started dabbling with it, and I'm looking at it, as someone who uses Photoshop and Premiere Pro and After Effects, like, it's like I'm looking at them like, this doesn't look too intimidating. It just, you have your toolbar there, and it's just an open canvas for the most part. But then when you start to build 3D objects, it gets a little, I'm like, you have to really understand the concept of like, yeah, you're still building out lines, but you're building out in 3 axes, like X, Y,
X, Y,
and
and
Z.
Z. Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay. So it can get a little confusing when you're trying to look at stuff, but building out objects, and then even and like, I mean, I was very elementary. I'm over here doing spheres and cubes and
Got to
triangles.
start somewhere, man.
Well, no, of course, of
You
course, of
know,
course.
I didn't understand, because coming from Sims, like I've always seen custom content, and I was like, I have no idea how they even do that. I did not understand what X, Y, and Z meant until I got into VR and I saw it with my eyes,
That's
like
incredible.
around me. Like
That's
I saw it unravel almost,
Hmm.
like the shape of a polygon and a vertice and a quad. Like I saw it unravel and I understood it. And then
Yeah.
when I went into the programs, I immediately got it.
Oh
Hmm.
wow, that's
Hmm.
incredible. That's
Hmm.
incredible.
What
Yeah.
people don't realize is actually Blender is used by major motion picture companies. And I know this was many years ago. Actually, Marvel, some of the last couple Marvel movies, motion pictures, were actually built in Blender by artists from all over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's an incredibly powerful tool. What are some of the other tools that you use to build? Or
When
is
I,
Blender and Altspace like the main spaces that you're playing in?
it is now, but
Mm,
I used to use SketchUp,
okay.
SketchUp Pro,
Hmm.
um, because I liked the ease of pushing and pulling walls, and pushing and pulling windows. Because when I had tried Blender, I was like shocked at how difficult it was to make a Boolean.
Mm.
And I was like, no. So I went to find easier routes. Like I started with like Home Design 3D,
Yeah.
like on the iPad.
I was
Yep.
just
And
gonna
like
say,
I
is that an
made,
Apple thing? Yeah, I think I heard of that
It's
app
Apple.
before.
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah,
made
yeah.
like quite a few worlds with just home design 3D and exporting a 3D model, an OBJ of it, and importing it into Unity.
What decided to have you dive into, like, you needed to do more? Is that what, like, is that kind of what pushed?
I needed to be, I'm a perfectionist. I needed my spaces to be performant, because I was, I'm housing people in the metaverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
I need them to be, game ready. And I didn't know anything about anything of that nature. And SketchUp didn't handle the geometry nor the materials like I needed to be able to have performance spaces.
Now, when you say game ready, meaning being able to take on people coming in, like, is that's what you mean? And that's kind of
like the weight of the world depends on the FPS, and the FPS is dependent on how much content you have and how you have your content laid out.
Understood.
So, yeah, game developers have a specific pipeline for, this type of stuff, especially mobile VR. And coming from an artist background, I didn't know anything about that. So people were kind of glitching out of some of my worlds.
Okay.
So I had to find out how to
fix that.
How to fix that, yeah.
Yeah.
Got you. So Artsy, tell us, what's the next, like, so obviously you're kind of, you're offering services to clients, many different clients. You're starting, you have a company, you have companies. What's kind of like the next step for you? Is it, are you still building up? Do you still feel like you're still like kind of, because it seems like you're off to a great start. And I can only imagine that you have a really cool roadmap lined up. What does that look like?
Yeah, so when I first started, I started having a Patreon, and the Patreon was my way of giving back to the community, stuff that I was building, but they couldn't probably afford, a custom build. So I would just make these really cool spaces and then put them up on my Patreon. I crossed over 100 patrons a few months ago.
Congrats.
And
yeah, congratulations.
Thanks. I'm responsible for over 2,700 worlds in alt space, using my template with my logo on it. So I'm the most branded world builder in the space. And now that, like, I did it because I love the community and I love how open and creative I can be in that space. After coming into the know-how of the, crypto decentralized NFT space, I'm now thinking about how to package up my content and be able to offer, my architectural skills and environmental skills towards that market. So I'm working on my NFT offerings. And
hey,
what does that look like? What's
Genesis drop?
Yeah.
Soon to come.
Yeah.
Yes, talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Have you picked out your marketplace? Yeah.
So that's still in the works. I'm thinking about a lot of stuff. I've been real picky about the platform
of course
that I released on. But right now I'm just worried about the art. So I'm working on a generative 3D dollhouse
cool
project.
Cool. How many pieces? Is it going to be like 10,000 or how many?
No. Oh. No. It's going to be a special number that I spiritually meditate on.
Nice. Sure. Okay. All right.
But I'm just getting the foundation together.
Okay. Do you have a timeline of like when you think it'll be, dropping? I'm
hoping for the end of the year.
Oh my gosh.
Nice. All right. Well, we're definitely going to be on the lookout for that. I've know that I've come across a couple of rooms where you were speaking, and that's how I kind of first Ira first told me about you before I even knew anything about you. Artsy, artsy. And I'm like, oh, what's up? Like, am I artsy? I don't know. Oh, artsy's a person. All right, okay, all right.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to realize. And then I heard you in some Clubhouse rooms, and I was just fascinated about just simply hearing your experiences and journey. And now that I was able to really see your work, and I'm just blown away, because like, you have a style first and foremost, and it's very like, you know, high end luxury, but of course like to the point where it's like you do put in what a client needs are too, because I see that in some of your projects. Like I seen one, it was like Club Afrique. Super cool. I love the look of it. It transports you. And that's what a lot of like your spaces look like. And I so look forward to seeing, you know, where you're gonna go with, you know, who you're gonna work with. I only like, you're already working with big names.
I'm just getting started.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's what's
what
amazing.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's the part right there for me. I cannot wait. It hasn't even been a full year, right? You said, how long has it been?
It's been official a full year.
Oh, now it's been official a full year. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I just started my Patreon a year ago. Like I think today.
Oh wow! Well, hey, happy anniversary! Yeah,
wow, yeah. Congratulations, over 100 followers. We need to get like an applause reel.
I know, right? We need our own soundboard, right? That's what we need.
Tell people how they can access your Patreon, support you.
Yeah, where can we all find you? Yeah.
The best pipeline right now is just to go straight to artsyvr.com and make sure you go through the whole site. So I do private lessons with people that are looking to get into world building. Right now I do it for free. I've been doing it for probably about 10 hours a week, goes to teaching other people how to, you know, build the metaverse as well.
That is incredible.
And so they can book lessons on my website. They can book meetings, tours. I take people on tours, personal tours throughout my spaces in VR, get their feet wet a little bit. And if you're interested in, you know, working or just gathering some templates for your alt space life, my Patreon is on my website as well.
Perfect.
Right, awesome.
It's been so awesome talking to you, and we are so excited. Definitely because, of course, we've got the NFT Future Business of Art Virtual Summit coming up on December 4th. It is starting at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and of course, we definitely want you there, if possible, at least to do some type of tour, you know, so folks can get a feel for it, your spaces, and see what is possible in this metaverse that we are all building. But we've appreciated interviewing you, Artsy, and we will definitely be in touch. I'm excited for your work. I'm excited for your existence and the art world. We are actually live streaming right now on YouTube. I've shared the link on my Ira Revels and my Black Tech Futures Media pages, and as well in the Afro Tech community. Because we plan on being in New York City on Thursday. NYC, NFT NYC is happening this whole week. And for the last day, we're going to be in New York. And I know that Afro Tech is doing a happy hour across the country around 5:30 p.m. in New York. So we're definitely going to pull up and get some drinks with other Black artists or creators,
it's time.
technical people, right? Computer people. So we're excited about that too. And we appreciate all your time. And we definitely are going to stay in touch because we are moving very swiftly, just like this metaverse is, man.
Yeah. I mean, swiftly.
Time goes by very fast.
Yeah.
Especially in this type of space. I mean, for you done blazed. We trying to keep up with you. That's what we're trying to do.
You said over 100,000 you've rendered and created. Tell me again, how many spaces?
Over 150 templates in a year.
150
and they're distributed to over 100 or probably over 200 different people.
Got it.
And so there are generated 2,700 worlds in the
27.
metaverse.
Based off your work. Yeah, that's
Trying to get you in the 100K plus
yeah.
place.
Oh, we're gonna get there.
But you probably will be in like a very short period of time.
This is just gonna, yeah, it's just gonna be this is
Yeah.
gonna be exponential. That's what's gonna
Exponential,
happen. Yeah.
growth,
So
yeah.
so with that being said, everybody, please check out artsyvr.com. Definitely see how she just builds. She's a builder. I said off air that she was the builder from Inception. She was the Ellen Page of, or now Elliot Page, then Elliot Page. The builder of Inception. I was like, that's who you are. Like, you're just building up these worlds in your imagination and pulling from real world. It's super, super cool. Can't wait to see what you do. Everyone else, blacktechfutures.media. Make sure you go on either Ira or my IG on our bio. You're going to see our link tree there. Access to all the links that you're going to need, not only for the virtual summit, but for our MetaMask tutorial. That's up and running. Make sure if you don't have a wallet, check out that website. That's going to get you up and running to get your digital wallet up and running. Again, thanks again for everything. Artsy, we look forward to seeing your work, and guys, have a good night or day.
Yeah. Hey, wherever
I'm over here seeing sunsets, that's why. So I'm like
get your tickets. It's blacktechfutures.media/events.
Yes.
You can see our speakers and you can get your tickets.
Yes.
All right.
Everybody,
thanks everybody.
have a great day.
Bye.
Artsy, bye now.